Welcome to problem 228 on page 57. I'm going to show you how to create charts in Excel, specifically a bar, a pie, and a Pareto chart. We actually did a Pareto chart in 216. I'm going to show you how to create the totaling and the percentages, but in future videos, I expect you to have already listened to 216 and 228, this one, and to ask for the person who is running the lab to help you out, and also you can ask for my help. But that's the kind of things that usually the person operating the lab will help you with. We have a really excellent lab person, and we'll be able to show you how to do this quite probably fairly easily, or explain it to you. So I'm going to do a total. I'm going to use the AutoSum function. And there's our total, 1459. We're going to do a percentage column. We're going to take the individual amount, which in this case is 60, divided by the total. Once again, as I mentioned in a previous video, I want this to be an absolute reference for the B16, so I hit the F4 button, which puts in the double dollar signs. And that means when I copy and paste it, B2 will change to B3, B4, which is what I want, and B16 will stay as an absolute reference. It won't change. It'll always be B16. So it's important you know this in creating formulas. Some of you have done this before in Excel. Some of you are like, oh, did not know it had that. Now, when you created this cell, Excel, or this column, Excel will default to numbers. But I want it to be a percentage. So all you have to do is hit the percentage button. That's all, or up at the top. Now we are ready to create our charts. First one we're going to pick is a bar chart. So in this particular case, the first thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to select insert. Now I need to select my data. This is a little trickier because all of the data is not continuous. What I mean by that is it's in column A and in column C. So I'm going to select column A. That's fairly straightforward. If you go Control and then select C2 to C15, it will select column A 2 to 15 and column C 2 to 15 because I don't want the kilowatts in there. I want my data in percentage, or my chart. So we're under the Insert tab. You can see that there's recommended charts. So in this particular case, the very first one listed is a horizontal bar chart. So I'm simply going to click that and go OK. And it's basically done. Now, if you stretch it, you can make it bigger. I'm sure most of you are quite familiar with how to resize something, but I'm going to move it out of the way. All right, I'm going to move it down here. I'm going to then click on, in this case, another cell. I may have to, and I have to reselect my data, because now I'm going to do a pie chart. So we have to go back to the tab of Insert, Recommended Charts. Well, that's one way to do it, but I'm also going to go, and you can see there's a pie chart here. So this has, I'm going to create a two-dimensional pie chart. Now, one of the things you might have noticed with this, actually I'll leave it up at the top of the screen, is it only goes down to freezers. All right. If you just make it bigger, it includes the others, the other categories. Now, it doesn't show the percentages, so you can right-click, and in this particular case, select Add Data Labels, and it adds the percentages to you, or for you. I'm going to once again move this down. I'm going to reselect my data. And I'm going to go back to the Insert tab. A little annoying that it keeps going back and forth. I'm going to go back to, not sure. All right. Sorry about that. And by the way, I'm going to leave these little bloopers in there. You're welcome to laugh at me if you want, but guess what? Some of you are going to make the same mistakes. And I did practice this a couple of times. You can see the Pareto charts at the bottom. I also showed you how to use the data and analysis tool pack to do this. And then we go, okay. And there we are. We have all three on the screen at one time. Now, if you don't move them out of the way, like I did, then you'll just, it'll be over top. So you'll have the bar chart, then it'll be replaced by the pie chart, then it'll be replaced by the Pareto chart with the ogive. Now, just looking at all three of them, as we can try and see on our screen, the Pareto chart does kind of stand out as being the best. It shows the information in order. So the size shows the ogive. It goes up to the 100%. The pie chart is really cluttered. It's got a lot of really small slices, 1% and 2%, 4%. The horizontal bar chart's not bad, but it doesn't put things in, well, it does have a percentage, but it's not sort of in order. Like if I wanted to know what are the top 3 or 4, I have to kind of like read it. Whereas with the Pareto chart, number 1 is other. Number 2 is space. Number 3 is space cooling and space heating, and then water heating. So very simple to read when you see the Pareto chart. So hopefully you found that useful. And I told you I will leave the little mistakes in there because some of you will make the same kind of mistakes.